I am showing nature. I am showing what we grew up around. These are some of the things that I miss, and I'm being very honest. Sometimes when I'm stressed at work, or when I'm stressed with life stuff in the US, after a long day of work, or school, or family issue, life in general, these are some of the things that I think about. Nature, my home, back home. This is how rich we are as a people. Naturally, Liberia is a rich country, but we have not found a way, really, to utilize the riches we have to the fullest of our abilities or beyond our abilities. I stand here and I'm looking at a swamp right in front of me. And on this swamp, which actually runs along this road up to the border between Grand Gedeh and Nimba, this particular swamp runs throughout this road, except for few areas, but majority of this road has this swamp or similar swamp like this one. I look here and I think about two things. I think about growing rice at a very high level. This is water sitting right there. Water sits right there. And it sits throughout this swamp. This is where we can grow rice. This is where we could grow rice. Instead of depending on foreigners to import rice, swamp like this grows rice. The government could invest heavily into agriculture, into areas like this, and you find something like this everywhere in Liberia. Clear this land, make them government land. Everywhere there are swamps like this, capture them from the citizens, make them government land, clear them, clean them, or if you are not going to make them government land, empower the citizens with the needed materials, machines to clean this place, to allow them grow their rice. Rice could grow here. I'm also then thinking about these trees. These are now palm trees, but I'm forgetting the name in English. They are mixed with palm tree. There are palm trees in the middle. I see some palm trees, but these particular ones, they are very useful. I'm forgetting the name in English, but they are very useful. I've seen what folks in Asia, like China, Japan, do with these things. They build homes. They are very crafty with these things. They make furnitures. They make several different materials out of these. We have millions and 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 trillions and billions of them. Billions and trillions of them. All across Liberia. It takes innovation and support from the government. Innovation and support from the government or investors, private investors, individual Liberians that are lucky enough to have left this place or are here and making money could also invest into things like this, forests like this. Forget about the swamp, but look across the swamp. Look on this side of this road. You see how thick this forest is. You see the trees in this forest. You see the mass land growing miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Untouched, unbothered, pretty much reserved, unused, unkept, unclaimed. Miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. We have forests all across Liberia that are untouched, unused, unclaimed, sitting for years and years and years and years and years. We have now in our country a group of individuals that our people here refer to as the Burkina Bees or the Mosi people. The Burkina Bees are supposedly from a country called Burkina Faso, crossing to the Ivory Coast, and eventually some have crossed into Liberia. They are into cocoa planting. They are into cocoa planting and mainly cocoa planting and other crops. They are in Liberia. They have worked in the Ivory Coast. They are known for cocoa plantations. A lot of our people have welcomed them with open arms. Some of our family giving up their lands, their farmlands, or either some contract agreement. Some of the contract goes up to 20 years, 15, 10, 15, 10, 15, 20 years, 25 years contracts to allow the Burkina Bees to grow cocoa for some of our people so that they can share the profits from the cocoa or the proceeds from the cocoa sale. Quite unfortunately, our people have not realized that those people coming into our land, and I have nothing against them, are coming because they see forests like this that goes miles and miles and miles and miles, sitting untouched, unclaimed, and the people they see these forests as an opportunity for their future, for their family, for their children. Whereas we see the forest as an area of abomination, places that we cannot step, areas that we don't want to venture around. For foreigners, Burkinabes, see this place as an opportunity to grow cocoa, make money for their children and their children's children for generations to come. I am not against having Burkinabes in Liberia. I have traveled a lot. And I will have issue with anyone who stopped me from going into their country. We live in a global village. And if I see an opportunity in the country that I travel to, I would definitely go for it. I have done so myself in other countries. The issue I have is not with the Burkinabes. The issue I have are with the folks on ground whom themselves have refused to get into the bushes, to work hard, grow their crops, maintain their crops, manage their crops, so that their children can benefit from the crops in a very long term. I was in a country called Rwanda not too long ago. And I was also in a country called Uganda not too long ago. Rwanda, a very small country, mostly sits on hills and mountains, with a very high population. Very small country, smaller than Liberia in size, but has about 15 million people. And Liberia has only about 5 million people. But Rwanda sits on a hilltop country. It's a hilltop country, sits on hills and mountains. You barely see running waters. Yet, they grow their main food: plantains, bananas, beans, tea. Those are things that they eat. Liberians, we eat rice for the most part. But you can barely find Liberians growing rice in this country any longer. You can barely find Liberians growing rice, utilizing these forests, growing rice or growing other crops that will bring food, that will feed their family. Most of our brothers and sisters, especially the youth now, sit in towns, villages, and cities, and all they do is talk politics, sports, drink excessive alcohols, abuse drugs, and take a phone, make calls to the United States or the UK, wherever they have families and friends, beg them to be fed. And we in diaspora support such behaviors as well. Whenever they call us, we give it to them. Yet, our forests, our swamps are sitting here untouched, unclaimed, except for the ones that the Burkinabes are capturing now to make investments for their family. It is very shameful. It's embarrassing that we have a land so vast, so rich, yet we are all poor, hungry, starving, begging to survive. Even in our own country, the Burkinabes that we think, we say is that they are our workers. That's how they call them here. My worker. My worker is on my farm. I go and see my worker. My worker is on the farm. They call them their workers. But it is the workers now that they depend on, that our people depend on to survive. How can you be the boss? You have a worker, yet you cannot feed yourself. How can you claim to be the master, yet you are unable to feed yourself? The person you call your worker, you depend on them to survive. The person that you say is your worker, you beg them to survive. You who are supposed to be the master, you who are supposed to be the master, begging around to survive. And when you talk to our brothers and sisters, especially our brothers, they tell you that their workers, the Burkinabes, are working for them. And that very soon they will have money. The cocos will be ready for sale. Then I ask myself, I wonder how much you will get from it. The Burkinabes who work tirelessly, day in, day out, while you are in the town talking politics and listening to music and watching videos and movies and sitting on the liquor table and drinking excessive alcohol and debating and talking about which team's going to win, whether Manchester United will win or Barcelona will win or Man U or whatever the teams are, debating and betting, gambling over those teams. And which president is the best, and George Weah is not this, and Joseph Boakai is not this, and Yeke Koruba is this, and this other politician is that and that. And you expect that a guy who is on that farm, working day in, day out, will give you a lot of the money? Do you understand the contract that is within that you signed? Do you think that guy is stupid? Don't you think that the monies he's giving you now have been calculated to be deducted in the future? Our people need to be smart, need to be innovative, need to be serious. We are sitting by the big river, yet we are thirsty. That's a parable. We sit by a river, but yet we are thirsty. We own acres and acres and acres and miles and miles and miles and miles of farmlands, fertile farmland. Yet we are hungry, we are starving, and we are begging. Everyone wants to travel, but no one wants to work now. Even some of us that have traveled, we also don't want to invest here. We rather put our monies in banks. We travel, we show up on Facebook. We show the big cars we are driving, the big clothes we are wearing, the homes that we owned in the diaspora. But we do not see the need to invest into these forests. You may wonder why I am speaking like this. Because I have toured this entire place. I have been in Grand Gedeh for days. And here is a funny thing. You come out of Morovia, you get to Nimba. You see folks selling all along the road. Plantain, bananas, cassava, corns, oranges. But once you cross into Grand Gedeh, you see nothing along the road. When you get into the towns and cities of Grand Gedeh, you see our brothers are gambling and playing, gaming up their life. I have a farm, a very big one. I'm not growing cocoa. I'm growing something else. You want to know? Reach out to me. It's big. I've been into farming for about 3 years now. I'm into live crops, cash crops, and also livestock. Yeah, so I meant livestock and cash crop. I know how hard it is to farm. I know that it costs money. It costs me a lot of money to farm, to maintain the farm. We pay people, the technicians, those who have the ideas, those who know how to do it. You have to keep people on the farm consistently. Security, those that we call daily workers. It costs a lot of money. But I see the future. I'm so excited that I came. And all of my hard work is making sense to me. It's making sense to me. I see the future. If I can do it, you can do it too. And if you can do it, somebody else can do it too. Your friend can do it too. Your brother, your sisters can do it too. Find someone you can trust. Find someone, if not even your family members. If you have to take someone from another place, take them. I work with teams from Nimba, from Lofa, and from Grangy there. But once you are serious and willing to spend that money, and sometimes the money will not be cheap, but willing to invest that money, serious to invest into these rich forests for your future and the future of your children, do it. Be willing to spend the money. It would take us, Liberians, Africans, it would take us to develop this place. The foreigners may come, but when they come as business people. They want profits on their investments. They have homes that they also want to build. It would take you and myself to build our home. There is nowhere like home. It feels so great walking on this road. My mothers, my fathers, my grandmothers, my grandfathers walked this road. There is nowhere like home. Come home, invest home, build home. Thank you for watching. You be blessed. The next video is coming up. Please share this video. Please like and subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Let's grow this place as we will bring you more contents talking about Liberia, talking about Africa, and talking about how we can collectively invest in our homes, develop our homes to ensure that we are also achieving greater things compared to other countries around the world. Thank you.